ever thought about showering before the daf? You ever thought about that?
Yeah, but I did, but I'm busy. I'm busy trying to get people who want to go away for Shabbos to friends, family, and all that, and they're trying to get a heter, and they go to me and they're calling me and they're saying, please. I say, listen, I can't. I'm not a doctor. You got to get a heter from a doctor.
Really? People are asking you that? That's ridiculous.
Jacob, I thought
it's not ridiculous. No, you need rabbinic permission. I have no problem with that.
What do you mean? But all the medical professionals, the Rabbanim are not going to go against the medical professionals.
I'm just talking about the guys that decide an hour before Shabbos. That's all I'm saying. You decide a couple days before.
Parents, that was great, parents. Thank you.
What happened?
Stand up and you'll take a look.
Jacob, I got to say one thing. The buttons on my pants, I don't care about because I'm not wearing them.
That's what makes a difference between a rabbi and you.
Well, you know what? What Peretz just did is mamish exactly what the Gemara is about to talk about. So let's go.
Let's find out.
Jacob, before we get to that Gemara, if you left your boiler off, you can take a shower on Shabbos. You're fine.
100%, you can. I might just have to do that.
Okay, weiter. It's Shabbos Kodesh.
There you go. Right. Oh, they know about Shabbos down there in South Bend?
You got two of them now. You got two.
Are you an hour behind? What are you complaining about?
Yeah, but I still got to do stuff for Shabbos.
Okay, so Zak the Gemara. Yeah, Omer Rab Zera. Mem Aleph Amud Aleph by the two dots. Liner's not on yet?
Liner's on. I saw him clicking.
Oh, there he is. Okay, we're ready to roll.
Liner just joined, but I'll tell you later what happened. Bye.
Okay. Omer Rab Zera. There goes
social
my shower.
distancing. Social distancing.
There it is. There goes your shower. Forget about it. You'll be on the phone with him for a half hour.
V'amar Rav Zera, okay? Anoch hazesi l'Rabavo sheniach yodav kineged panav shalmata. I saw Rav Zera. Right, this is a continuation of what they saw Rav Zera swimming or not. So then he said, I also saw Rav Zera put his hand in front of panav shalmata, means his lower face, which means his private parts. Meaning when he was going into the water, he put his hands in front of his private parts. No, are you sure? It's not. It is. It's exactly what Peretz is. Yeah. Anyways,
Peretz demonstrated for us.
And I don't know if he touched there or not, or he didn't touch there. So Gemara says, Pshita the Lonog, it's Pasha that he didn't touch there. Titania, Rebbe Eliezer Omer, Kol ha'oiches ba'ama umashtin. Anybody who holds on to the amma means the aver, the member, who mashtin and goes to the bathroom, urinates, kilu maybe mabel oilam. It's as if he's bringing a mabel to the world, right? So, of course, Reb Zera is going to keep the halacha and not touch there. So, Rabbi Yasur Kubaileshes. No, it was like a Baileshes. What is that? The Tanan Baileshes, if you have an army, a quick army, I don't know what the exact translation is, but an army that comes into the city, B'shas Shalom, Chavias Psuchas Asuris, Tumas Mutarazis Yayin. So, you have wine. So, if it gets touched, then it's going to be an issue. Right, so if it's a army that's traveling through, so when it's a peaceful time, so they're not in any rush to get out of town, so open barrels are going to be a problem. Stuma is mutaris, but closed barrels are not going to be a problem because that, as we know, all sealed wine is no problem. B'shas muchama, but if it's a time of war, elu mutaris, then everything is mutar, even open barrels. Lafisha ein pnai lenasif. They didn't have time to use it for avodah zarah. Since they're scared or since they're moving so fast, they're not going to be menasach. Since he's going quick and since he's embarrassed, meaning going in and out of the water, so therefore he's not going to be maharid even if he touches himself because he's not going to be thinking about it. So what's he scared of? He's scared of the river because the river is scary, to go in and out. Chas v'sholom, somebody could drown, so he's scared about that. And so therefore, even if he touched himself, it's not an issue. It's not true. This is a very interesting din. So somebody is walking naked, and he puts his hand in front of his private parts, so it looks like you're denying that you have a bris, and you're embarrassed of your bris. So therefore, you are kaifer brisa shel Avraham Avinu, right? Like kasha, yeah. So haki nachis, haki solid.
So when guys are walking around the mikveh, they shouldn't.
Correct.
Be
it's
around.
wrong. They should not be putting their hand in front. Yes, that's wrong. People that do that by the mikveh is wrong. It's a very interesting thing. You think like, okay, it's tznius, but no, you're being kaifer in the bris. Yeah.
We learned before that you don't have by the mikveh, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but it's still there's a side of a busha by a yid.
Right.
A yid supposed to go ahead and be a little bit of a busha there. But here,
Right.
after Rabbi, the Gemara is saying completely not.
Correct.
Yeah, but with
Correct.
today's time that a person is uncomfortable, you're not doing it because of the person.
No, but so what? No, but the Gemara knew that too. This is talking about where a guy's going into the he's going naked into a river. We're not talking about a private room. It's talking about even in the river, you're not allowed to.
Listen, we see by Aaron Levino, he had Eliezer's, make sure by the bris.
Now the Minchas Elazar was known. The Minchas Elazar was a real kanoi. He was known that in the mikveh, he would tell people. He was also a moil. He would tell people, this is for Elio Ikvik. He would tell people, by the way, your bris is no good. Okay, that's what they say he did. So there I can hear you hiding it. You know what I mean? If you don't want to, whatever. Anyways,
I heard,
yes.
Bianco, I heard that from your uncle, by the way.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. So there I could hear hiding.
If he's seeing that, he might be getting too close. No.
Ooh.
If you see if the bris is not good, no.
Yeah. Right.
I think I'll just sit this one out.
Anyway, so like kasha, haki nochis, haki salak. No, one is talking about when he's going down to the river, and one is talking about when he's coming up to the river. Right? So meaning when you're going down to the river, there's no tznius because the people that are watching you go into the river see your back, parrots, right? So therefore, it's not he's not there. But when you're coming up, so then there's more of a tznius, so then you're allowed to cover yourself. So now that maybe. So then the question is, what is a mikveh like? So I don't believe there's any reason to be tznius. Ki had the Rava shachi, Reb Zera zakif. Rava would bend himself down to like sort of cover himself, and Reb Zera would zakif. Reb Zera didn't. The other way, he stood up straight so that he would be so he would not be hiding his bris. Rabbanan the Ravashi ki konachsi zakfi. The Rabbanan Ravashi, when they went down to the water zakfi, they did standing up because there was nothing to be embarrassed about. When they went up from the river, so then it was more embarrassing because people could see them. So then they bent over a little bit. Fine. Okay, that's the end of that. Reb Zera have a kamishtamen with Rabbi Yehuda. The boy lemesik la'ardi. So we had this in brachas, right? That Reb Zera was scared of Rabbi Yehuda because Reb Zera wanted to make aliyah. The boy lemesik la'ardi. So he wanted to go up to Eretz Yisrael. The Amar Rabbi Yehuda, and the reason why he was scared of Rabbi Yehuda is because Rabbi Yehuda was of the opinion that once you're in Bavel, you are not allowed to go to Eretz Yisrael. You're going to go to Bavel, and there you're going to stay. So you're not allowed to move. Once you're in Bavel, once you're out of Eretz Yisrael, I'm assuming it means not specifically Bavel, it means everywhere. Once you're out of Eretz Yisrael, then you are not allowed to go back there. So Amri says, Ezel ve'eshma minei milsa ve'aisi ve'esek. So I'm just going to go hear something from him, and then I'm going to go up to Eretz Yisrael. Right? Meaning, I guess he didn't want him to actually see him. He just wanted to go. He was scared for him to see him because he would tell him, "Don't go to Eretz Yisrael." So he just listened into something that would happen. Also, the Kabei Bani. So he went and he found him that he was in the bathhouse. And he said to his shaman, "It's amazing how many stories back then. Everything happened in the bathhouse. Right? Every story is in the bathhouse. Right?
It's like
so
it's like the Zev Brenner ad. It's more informational than a trip to the mikveh.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So he told his shamish, he overheard him telling his shamish, bring me my soap, bring me a comb, and then open your mouths, and let out some hot air, and then drink from some of the water. Right? And then drink some of the hot water from the bathhouse. Again, he told his shamish, bring me soap, bring me a comb, and then he said, open your mouths and let out some hot air because it's very hot in the bathhouse. And then drink some of the water from the bathhouse. Okay? If it would only be that I came to hear this one thing, then it would be enough. So Bishlam, if you Neser, if you Misrik, we understand that he said bring him soap and bring him a comb, because he said it in Hebrew. So like we discussed yesterday, so therefore the things that from weekday are mutter to say in Hebrew in a bathhouse, right? Because it's only Torah that's not allowed to be said. You're allowed to use the words of Torah as long as it's not actual Torah. Shmuel, open up your mouth and let out the hot air. That's like what Shmuel said. Amar Shmuel, Hevla Mapik Havala. Right? Hot air, you should let out hot air because it'd be healthy for you to let out some hot air. Yeah? Ella Ishtu Maya, the Beibani Maimal you. So what is the big deal? What's so great about drinking the hot water from the bath?
The article says inhale, not let out.
What?
The article says inhale the steam, not let it out.
Mapik Havala?
Yes, inhale.
Havla Mapik Havla?
Yeah.
How do they touch it?
Inhale steam. Open your mouth and inhale steam so you will sweat and discharge heat.
Oh, that's what he's saying, right? So you're going to inhale, and then by inhaling, the heat is going to leave your body through the pores, I guess. That's what they're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, through the
That's
sweat.
how they're saying it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like drinking hot tea in the summer. It helps you sweat, so it cools you down.
I hear. Okay, so I was thinking that they swallowed in the air and then blow it out, but okay, the article saying now. Okay, fine, thank you. Ella ishtu maya, the beibani mama yusa. What about drinking water of the bathhouse? What's so good about that? The Tanya dam. If you eat and you don't drink, then your eating is like blood, meaning it's not healthy. And that's the beginning of a stomach ache. Eating and not walking 4 amas after you're eating will make the things decay. The food, I guess, it decays inside you, and that's the beginning of having bad smells to you, right? So basically, don't fall asleep at the Shabbos table. First, get up and walk 4 amas, right? If somebody needs to go to the bathroom and he eats anyways, that's like heating up an oven on top of the old ashes that were there before, which I guess means it's not going to be cooked as well as, it's not going to heat up as well, I guess. And that's the beginning of having a reach of zuama, which is a real bad smell. And you wash in a bathhouse and you don't drink some of the hot water, it's similar to an oven that gets heated on the outside, but you don't heat it up on the inside. Hence, he wants you to drink some of the water that you're heating up. If you wash in hot water and then you don't wash yourself off with cold water, it's similar to metal that you put it into fire to form the metal, and then you don't put it into cold water. Meaning, because the way it was back then, when the cold water, after you finished creating the utensil, the metal utensil, then you don't wash it with cold water. It doesn't completely finish off the utensil, which we'll see on Hama Beis. If you wash yourself and you don't smear yourself with, I don't know exactly what you're smearing yourself with, maybe article says, then it's similar to putting water on top of a barrel, right? Meaning on pouring it on the outside of the barrel and it doesn't seep in. Meaning if you don't soak your smear, whatever it is on yourself, then taking a shower, the water will just, the chasach usually means oil, but basically what he's saying is that if you don't smear yourself with things, then it's not going to cleanse you. Like taking a shower without any soap or anything. That's the way I assume. The Rashi says it's like putting water on the outside of a barrel, so of course it's not going to get in the barrel. Okay, new Mishnah. Mulyar Hagaruf, Shaisan Amenu B'Shabbos, a mulyar that's Hagaruf, if you remember what that means, Garuf means that you took the coals and you swept it out. So mulyar Hagaruf, Shaisan Amenu B'Shabbos. So are you allowed to use the hot water that's in that mulyar, which we're going to see in the Gemara what mulyar is? You're allowed to drink from it on Shabbos. Antichi, but an antichi, which is a different type of urn, Alpha Pisha Grufa, that's the heat is so strong that even if you get rid of the coals, you are not allowed to drink from it on Shabbos. Okay, Hechidami Mulyar Hagaruf. What is a mulyar that the coals get swept away? It's water on the inside and the coals are on the outside. Meaning it seems like it's got like an extra compartment on the outside where you keep the coals. So there, the heat is not so intense. So as long as you sweep away the coals, then you're fine. Rabba Amar Beikiri. Rabba says it's Beikiri. Rav Nachum Bar Yitzchak Amar Beidudi. Right? So again, I don't know exactly how they're going to touch it. Beikiri means there's a chalal. Rashi says it's an opening, not an opening, a hole. There's a hole there, right, next to it, right. And that's what Beikiri means, and Beidudi means it's like a dud where there's different compartments where it's under, where the coals are under. I lost the place. Mandam beidudi kol shekain bekiri. The one who says beidudi, that's allowed to be used, and of course a bekiri because the coals are on the side, not under it. Mandam bekiri aval beidudi loy. But the one that says bekiri, if the only reason why you would be allowed to use it because the coals are on the outside, but beidudi where the coals are under it, then you wouldn't be able to use it because there the heat stays inside because it's surrounded by metal. Tani Kava said the Rav Nachman Antichi Aval Pisha Grufa Ktuma Ein Shaisin Renum Nation Chushta Mechal Masa. Antichi, right, which is the second case in the Mishnah, even though that's you got rid of the coals or you put ashes or ketuma, you put ashes, ain't shayzin you're not allowed to drink from it because the nechayshes, the metal, heats up the water, continues to heat up the water, and therefore it's going to be too intense the heat, and therefore you can't use it. Okay, so the Mishnah Hamecham Shepino. Now this is also a vague Mishnah right here. Hamecham, a hot water urn, shepino, that you remove it. Now the Gemara is going to discuss exactly what this case is. You're not allowed to put cold water into it, that the cold water will get hot. But you are allowed to put it into it or into a kais in order to warm it up. Now again, how do you translate mecham? Mecham is a hot water urn, right? Shepineu means what? And Rashi says the whole mission is going to be explained in the Gemara. But the two options are, Shepineu means that you remove the hot water from the urn, and now you have hot metal and you want to put cold water into it. That's one option. Or does it mean you took the whole urn with the water off the fire and now you want to add cold water to it? Those are the two options. Okay, so Zogdi one, my kamar, what is it saying? If you have an urn and you remove all the water from it, right? I'm sorry, that you remove all the hot water from the urn. You cannot put a little bit of cold water in it in order that the cold water gets hot. But if you put a lot of cold water, then all it's going to do is get warm and not boiling hot, then it would be okay. Again, right? If you put a little bit of water into a hot urn, so then that little bit of water is going to get hot. If you put a lot of cold water in there, then it's not going to get hot. It's just going to get warm, and that will be allowed. So the Gemara says, but like we just got finished saying before, when you add cold water to a pot that just had hot water in it, you're going to be mitzaref it, meaning it's going to complete the metal, meaning somehow the cold water makes the pot become like a solid pot, meaning it finishes it off, right? So if you're going to add cold water, aren't you going to be mitzaref, which would be a tikkun kli, which would be basically like you're helping to create something. So
right, like a blacksmith goes ahead when he finishes.
Right, exactly, exactly. Thank you. Like what a blacksmith does. Yeah. So the Gemara answers, Reb Shimon here. It's Reb Shimon, who we had before. Da'amar davar she'ein mischavan mutter. He holds if you do something without any kavanah, then it's going to be mutter, even if it happens. Meaning, remember what the classic case was: dragging a bench in the dirt on Shabbos. So as long as your kavanah is not to make holes in the ground, then you're allowed to drag the bench, right? Others, Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. So we're saying our Mishnah is Reb Shimon, who doesn't have an issue with this. So Abaye has the kasha, does the Mishnah say that it's talking about a urn that you remove the water? All it says is it's an urn that was removed. It doesn't say you remove the hot water, right? It's just a technical point. How are you translating it that it means remove the hot water? It says remove the whole urn. So Abaye has a different shot. This is what it says. When you take the urn off the fire, and it has some hot water left in it, don't put in a little bit of cold water in order that the cold water gets hot. But you are allowed to put a lot of cold water in there in order for it to cool, to get warm. Yeah, that's one case. And a mecham that you removed all the water from it totally, then you're not allowed to put in any cold water. Why? Because it is mitzaref. It's going to complete the kli, and therefore it's not allowed. Yeah, Rabbi Yehuda, and then the Tana of the Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda. that something that's not mischaven, if you're doing something that was not your intention, that is usher, right? So now we went totally the other way on this. Yeah? We're saying the first shot was that it's Reb Shimon who doesn't have a problem with Davar Shein Mischaven. And now it's Reb Yehuda who, now this way we're saying it's Reb Yehuda who holds that Davar Shein Mischaven is usher, right? So then Omar Rav said, this is only talking about to warm it up. Also, if you're putting the cold water in to make tziruf, literally means to combine it, meaning to finish off the metal like a blacksmith does, like you said, in order to you want to add cold water in order to make the kli stronger, then that would be asur, which of course, right? That means you're doing something intentionally to finish off a kli. Even if you add the cold water in order to complete the kli, it's going to be mutter. So the Gemara says, Can anybody think that it would be mutter, that Shmuel would allow you to put in cold water in order to seal up the metal? Must be something else. You're only allowed to put in enough water that it's a shear that it's going to make the cold water warm. But to put in a lot of cold water that it's going to actually be able to finish off the kli and make it solid, then that would be awesome. Even to put a whole shear of tziruf, it's mutter. Why? Because he's going to say Davar Shein Mischaven. So remember the Shmuel Reb Shimon tzvirulei. Do you say that Shmuel holds like Reb Shimon that Davar Shein Mischaven is mutter? Meaning the only reason why you're putting the cold water in is not to complete the kli. You're putting in the cold water in order to get yourself warm water, right? So therefore, it's not an issue if you hold like Reb Shimon, who says an unintended consequence is not a problem. So the Gemara says, can Shmuel really say like Reb Shimon? Let's say there's a hot coal in Rosh Hashanah, right? You're walking down the street, yeah, and you see a boiling hot coal, and you're afraid somebody's going to touch it and trip on it and burn themselves. So what do you do with that on Shabbos? So Shmuel says you're allowed to put out the coal on Shabbos, even though it's an Issa D'Rabbanan, right? To extinguish, according to most, is only an Issa D'Rabbanan. So Shmuel says better to be over an Issa D'Rabbanan than somebody should get hurt. So if it's a metal rod that's hot, so to put it out is the Rabbanon, so you're allowed to do it. But you can't do it with wood. And if you say he holds like Reb Shimon, he can also be able to put out wood because Reb Shimon holds that davar malacha she'eina tzricha legufa. That's what that's called. Again, we're throwing around a lot of phrases here. Malacha she'eina tzricha legufa. We had this a couple weeks ago, which is that when you're if you're not doing the malacha for the reason that it was done in the Mishkan, then that's not asim in Torah. So the only reason they extinguished things in the Mishkan was like when they lit the wicks and they put them out in order to preserve the wicks that it should light better. So that's an extinguishing for a particular reason. But to extinguish just because you don't want the fire, that's malacha she'eina tzricha legufa, and Reb Shimon holds that that's mutter. So clearly we're saying that Shmuel does not hold the Reb Shimon. So when I answers, so b'davar she'eina mischaven savar like Reb Shimon. When it's something that has no kavanah, then he holds like Reb Shimon. But malacha she'eina tzricha legufa savar like Reb Yehuda. But when malacha she'eina tzricha legufa, he holds like Reb Yehuda, which you chayiv. Amar Ravina. So then we just learn out a different thing.
Wouldn't that be if it was in like a public place, like you said, like there was a coal sitting in a public place? Isn't it like a borb or a shusarabim type of deal where someone can get hurt?
Right. So he was basically what you'd have to do if you hold that it's a wood and you're not allowed to put out wood, then you'd have to stand there the whole Shabbos and direct people around it. Right? But here he's saying, no, you could do Yover and D'Rabbanan.
Practical application. What if you have like an electric stovetop? And you have a kid, like my son is 3 years old, and he likes to reach for things.
Yeah, so that's it. When it was left on by mistake,
or we had soup on it, or whatever it is before Shabbos, and once it was taken off, and that whatever.
Okay, yeah. If you think it's a sakana, then you would be able to shut it off because it's a derabbanan. Okay, you do it with a shinui if you have to, but you should try not to have yourself in that situation. But if necessary, then yeah, if it's going to be a sakana, yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, you try and get somebody not Jewish to do it, but if not, then it's that's what you have to do. So Amar Ravina Hilkach is another case. Kaitz b'reshus harabim. Let's say you have a what's a kaitz? Thorn. B'reshus harabim. That's in reshus harabim. Ma'licha pachas v'dal rama. So now you want to get it out of reshus harabim because you don't want people you don't want this kites, this thorn, to hurt people. So what do? You carry it 4 amas, and then you stop, and then you carry 4 amas, then you stop, which is all the rabbanon. And you keep doing the rabbanons in order to get away this sakana from everybody. Of a carmelist, but that's if it's in a public property. Of a carmelist, but if it's in a carmelist, which is the rabbanon, then afilu tuva, then even more you can take it.
Is that with an Erev or without?
What? No, without. We're talking about without an Erev.
Without.
Yeah. Okay, one more to the Mishnah. Yeah, avon noisin, right? But you're allowed to put, you're allowed to add hot water. So now, person can take hot water and put it into cold water, but you can't take cold water and put it into hot water. That's a very interesting thing. What's the difference? Which one goes with which one? So Rashi explains that there's a rule, and this has to do a lot with Hilchas Kashrus, is that whatever's on the bottom overpowers the top. Okay? So if the bottom is cold, the cold overpowers the top. And if the bottom is hot, then the hot overpowers the cold. So therefore, you're allowed to take hot water and put it into cold, because the cold will overpower the hot, and then it's no problem. But put cold into hot, then it's a problem, because the hot is going to cook the cold. That's what Besham says. Whether you put hot into cold or cold into hot, it's going to be mutter b'med, because. But then the Gemara says that's only by a cup of bambati. But if you're talking about a bath, that you could put hot into cold, but you cannot put cold into hot. Reb Shimon ben Manasseh, Reb Shimon ben Manasseh says it's asur, right? You're not meaning you would be asur either way, right? Amar Rav Nachman, halacha Reb Shimon ben Manasseh, the halacha is like Reb Shimon ben Manasseh. So Rabbi Yosef lemeimar sefel arehu kambati, and then Rabbi Yosef came along and thought that a safel, which is like somewhere in between, it's not a kois and it's not a bath, it's sort of like a basin. Then it's like an ambati, like a bath, and it should be asur. Amalei Abaye, Tani Reb Chia, safel ain't a kambati. Reb Chia says no, a safel's not like a bath. So then the Gemara asks, "Well, am I just like a daiti? What we thought in the beginning, may when doing the safal areo kambati, that it's like a bath, that a basin is like a bath." Rav Nachman Allah, Reb Shimon ben Manasseh, Rav Nachman said, "Allah is like Reb Shimon ben Manasseh, that you can't do it." El b'Shabbos or chitz b'chamen leka. Does that mean that there's no way to wash with hot water on Shabbos? Meaning, according to that, you can never. If you're saying that a basin is the same thing as an ambati, then there's no way to ever have a mixture of hot water and cold water on Shabbos. Meaning, like somebody asked me today, the baby soaks through, and like a new parent, so the baby soaks through and makes a mess of themselves. Is there any way they could bathe the baby? So yeah, so you take some hot water from the urn and you mix it with cold water, but you're going to put it into a basin. So according to this, the basin would be asur, right? Because we're saying that it's like a bath, and you can never add hot or cold water to a bath. So is it possible that there's no such thing as hot water? So the Gemara answers, Misavas Reb Shimon HaSeifa Koi. Who says Reb Shimon is going on the Seifa, and it's talking about a Safel and Ambati? Aresha Koi is going on the ratio. Besil Matirin, because what's he going on? It says, Besil says it's mutter bein chamen l'sech tzana, bein tzana l'sech chamen. Whether it's hot into cold, cold into hot. For Reb Shimon Manasseh, oyster tzana l'sech chamen. And Reb Shimon Manasseh says, you're not allowed to put cold into hot. So if that's the case, then who's he saying it like? Then he's like Beshami. So if that's the case, but Reb Shimon Manasseh is saying like Beshami, which we know we hold like Beis Hillel. So then how could that be? He's saying like Beshami? No, Reb Shimon Manasseh is saying there's no disagreement, and everybody holds you can't add hot to cold, you can't add cold to hot. So we saw that Rabbi Shua was not makbid on mana. A mana means a kli, a utensil. He wasn't makbid to warm it up. So this we said that a person can take a jug of water and put it into a basin of water, whether it's hot into cold or cold into hot. Meaning, so that's a question, because Rava says that he wasn't makbid on putting a kli. So the Gemara says, "No, shani hasam the mifsakli." There, he wasn't talking about mixing hot and cold together. There, he was talking about like people do with baby bottles. If people take baby bottles on Shabbos, the way they warm it up is they would take the bottle and they stick it into a like a cup of hot water, and that warms it up. So there, the bottle acts as a block between the cold water and the hot water. So maybe there will be okay. Amarlei Mari, no, but it says he poured. No, he's talking about pouring. And pouring, he says a person can pour a jug of water into a jug of water, meaning you could take from a kitan shemayim l'sachsaf shemayim, from a jug to a basin, whether it's hot until cold or whether it's cold until hot. So unfortunately, we don't have enough time to really discuss this in the halacha l'maisa. But the bottom line is if you want to use, you need hot or cold water on Shabbos. You just got to make sure you mix it in the right way. You add a little cold, a little bit of hot, and then you're going to be fine. And that's what you would do if you need hot water to wash yourself on Shabbos. All right? Okay? Shabbat Shalom. What time tomorrow night? 9:15 is a little early, I think. No? Is everybody all right with 9:15?
That's
fine
Yeah,
with me.
it's early.
Continue.
What?
I think we should just continue.
What now? Yes.
I'm kidding. I gotta sign papers. I'm going out of my mind.
Rabbi
But
Stein.
9:15 tomorrow, or should we make it a little later?
No, 9:15 is good.
9:30.
If you can make it later, that'd be awesome, but I'm not going to hold you to it.
I think 9:15 is too fast.
Yeah, Shabbos is just over. Like, it's too early, 9:15.
Yeah, 9:30 is perfect. 9:30 is perfect.
All right, so we'll do 9:30. All right. Have a good Shabbos, everybody.
Rabbi
Stay
Stein,
safe.
does
Shalom,
anyone,
Shabbat Shalom.
Rabbi Stein, does anyone matter porch minyanim yet or no?
What do you mean, anyone locally?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of. Yeah.
All right. So no porch
All right.
minyanim yet. Okay.
Oh, you looking to make one?
What?
No, people on my block are looking to make one.
I thought they made
Well,
one.
I didn't even
Rolled
notice
them
your
out.
block was so from. You always have
No.
people now davening on your block.
That's Jarvis, where they have a minyan.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody's knocking.
It's been real good shot.
Jacob, I'm happy mommy wasn't part of the
Have a
daf.
good Shabbos, everyone.
The first
Shabbos,
what?
Simon.
The first part of the daf. I'm happy mommy wasn't part of it.
Oh, yeah? All right.
I hear you.
Simon, what were you
Good
doing
Shabbos.
over there?
Shabbos.
Can I
Shabbos,
ask you a quick
everybody.
question?
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
I'm gonna call.
Terrence, what'd you say?
What were you eating?
Oh, before a piece of cake.
I'm just finishing my stuff.
All right, have a good
Where
Shabbos.
did Liner?
Harold,
Yeah, Shmuley, what were you talking about?
you don't remember that, do you?
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Do you remember when you guys came to my parents for Yontif for Hanukkah?
Yeah.
When you all came? Do you remember
Okay.
your father and my father both said, somebody say the Dvar Torah about Hanukkah? So me and Aaron were learning together at the time about how the Hashemite used to, my kids are around, I have to tell you after Shabbos. They used to hang things to make sure it didn't look like they had a bris.
The what?
They used to hang had a bris.
Call me, Shmuley, call me.
I'll call you. Goodbye.